So, how's your head today, mate?
Um, it's not too bad. It's not too
Mine's
bad.
mine's not too bad,
Could
which is
could have been a lot
unusual.
worse, couldn't it?
Yeah, after sort of industry dinner, we were out with the Humble Boys,
Yeah,
which is good, but it wasn't too crazy.
the legendary Humble Boys.
Legendary
Well, you see, the,
John
the thing
Graham
is,
and
you've become an old
Eduardo.
man, haven't you? And
Yeah,
once it got to about 11 o'clock, you said, "Ugh, I'm a bit tired now. I'm going to go home. I've got, a family to look after."
yeah, and they're like, let's go to the club, man. I want to go down raving.
Show us the London punk scene.
The London punk scene.
No, they didn't say anything of the sort. They said, "Oh, thank God, we can go back to our hotels as well.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
knackered."
because they'd slept rough in Bath, hadn't they, the night
Yeah,
before?
exactly. They were out on the street.
Should we be telling the world about
I don't
their
know. Maybe this is confidential, humble business.
humble business? Yeah, yeah. That takes me back to that GDC when we hooked up with them. A
Yeah.
couple of rounds of disc golf. They
Disc.
saved Introversion.
They saved Introversion over a round of disc golf. Nobody
You
knows
know,
what disc golf is, apart from
no,
San
no.
Francisconians.
Yeah, well, look into it. But for all of you out there that are enjoying Prison Architect, know that without Humble Bundle, there would be no Prison Architect
Yeah,
because there would have been no revenue to keep
yeah.
Chris and Mark eating.
We were done, weren't we? We
We
were
were
done.
done.
Apart from a long shot with Steam and a long shot with Humble, we were
Yeah,
basically
that's right.
shit out of luck.
I was so close to getting away from you,
Yeah, I know.
not having
You
to.
almost escaped. I told you, mate, in 1997. I told you that I was going to destroy your life, right? But it was going to take.
You,
But it was going to take a while.
you
And it,
always make these threats to me.
yeah, and it was. But it wasn't going to be like a quick thing, like a bullet to the head.
Right.
It was going to be a subtle destruction of everything you care about or have ever dreamt about. And that mission is still ongoing. And I know that you almost escaped, but
Yeah.
nope.
Nope. No, you're just lulling me back in, are you?
Yeah,
Um, are you recording your screen at the moment?
yeah.
And Prison Architect's not in full screen?
No, because we've got some stuff to look at today that requires me to look at the desktop.
Ah, well, let's begin then.
Yeah, should we do some stuff?
Let's do some stuff.
All right, let's
Apparently, I can't
load.
say yeah too much because I ruined the videos.
Well, you don't normally. It's just last month. I think that
I
you
was a
know.
bit blown away. I was a bit surprised. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I think I took you by surprise, didn't I, with the electronic circuits?
You did.
Yeah. Well, I think that took everyone by surprise a little bit.
It was
Yeah.
it was mental and off the wall. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll return to those, won't we?
To be fair, though, you were actually pretty shit in the last alpha video.
I don't think I was feeling. I wasn't feeling very well. Will that excuse
Yeah.
cut it? Will that do?
Yeah.
People of the interwebs.
Yeah, you were like a major downer, man. I felt like I was ice skating up a hill.
I'll try and be more positive this time round.
Yeah,
I'll try and add some value.
On the note of that electronic stuff, I have done a little bit. I haven't added anything major or anything. But what happened was very quickly it became untenable because this is the wiring diagram of this prison.
It looks like one of my old electronics kits. You know when you
Yeah.
had those. Do you have those things, those old boards
Yeah.
where you had to like wire up
Connect resistor
resistors
73 to,
That's right,
to
that's right.
diode
And then,
14.
and then you had a broken radio at the end of it that
Yeah,
never worked.
you had a radio that didn't work, so you just
Yeah.
went and turned lights on and off. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's
that was the old all wires view, which is still there, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's of limited use.
Yeah,
So
it's
now
nice.
I've filtered it down now. So if you look at any particular wiring item, you can see the connections, but they stop straight away, just with the little dots. And if you highlight the
okay.
item, it shows you all the connections that item is involved with. See what I
Mate,
mean?
you are an astonishingly good UI designer.
Thanks, mate. So you pick an object, and there you can see everything that CCTV monitor is connected to.
Yeah, that's good.
But then when you look out here, you don't see anything until you
Yeah.
look at the show wires view. This is a prison called Green Beach, by the way. This is one of our fan-made prisons in the Steam Workshop. Absolutely
Looking great.
epic. I think it looks really cool.
I love those the walls, the diagonal walls
Yeah, exactly. It was got a bit of a lake to build
around
around,
the
hasn't
swamp.
it? A bit of a
Yeah,
swamp,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, very, very cool. So, as you know, in the last alpha, I added various new sources of contraband to the game. Right? You could throw contraband
Yes,
over
you
the
did.
walls, and you could import contraband via trucks coming into the prison.
That's right.
And there's a
That's
whole
right.
new series of sources of contraband without really any great deal of new ways of discovering the contraband other than the old-fashioned shakedown of your entire prison.
Yep.
Well, I've added a new feature. Now you can hire confidential informants.
Oh, Gotta keep the devil down in the hole.
Yeah, so snitches, you might say, in prison speak.
Snitches,
Now,
yeah.
when
Snitches.
there are only certain situations when a prisoner will be willing to be a confidential informant for you.
Right.
Now, I can think of several, but I've only implemented one at the moment, and that one scenario is when they're facing a fairly nasty punishment within your prison. For example, if they're hanging out in solitary confinement.
Okay.
These guys, for example, this guy's got 15 hours in solitary to look forward to. This guy's got 17 hours in solitary to look forward to. And this is a prime opportunity to offer them a get out of solitary for free card.
I like it.
I'll let you out of solitary, mate, if you do a thing for me now and then.
Yeah.
So
I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back.
Exactly, and
quid pro quo.
We'll try and make sure that no prisoners stab you in your back with a knife or something that they stole.
We promise.
Yeah, we'll look after you. We'll take care of you, man. Don't worry about it.
We'll take care of you and your family.
So here's the contraband menu, and you can see there's a new item on the end, Informants. So you click on that bad boy.
Informants.
So now we're in Informants view, and we don't have any informants right now. You have no CIs on record, but that guy is highlighted as a potential CI.
Okay.
Because of his current condition. The reasons are he's locked in, he's got a long time in solitary to go, he's heavily suppressed. If they are suffering heavy withdrawal from drug abuse, that contributes as well. Basically, all the things that make their life a misery make it more likely they're willing to be a confidential informant.
Okay.
And I happen to know this already. He's been in the prison for quite a while already.
Yeah,
4 days, which means he's likely to have quite good information.
Yeah, okay.
If you've only just come into the prison, you have virtually no information about what's going on. So I'm going to recruit that informant. Right? I've recruited him. He's now a confidential informant.
Wow, that was easy.
It was easy. It says so in his tooltip, confidential informant. And
And
you might notice as well that he is handcuffed because he's about to be escorted back to his cell. But he's been let out of solitary.
Right.
We've done a little bit of an exchange.
Yeah, so we've been good to our word.
Exactly. So what does this get you? Well, it doesn't get you anything. Not yet, it doesn't. We've got a confidential informant now in the list.
That's his name, is it?
Adam Hawkins, right?
Right.
And this is the suspicionometer. The suspicionometer is how suspicious the prison population are of him.
Okay.
Of whether he might be an informant or not. At this point, not very suspicious at all. Right? Because nothing's happened. We haven't taken any action. We haven't talked to him. We haven't asked him.
Why is it red then? It should be green.
Well, it's low. Right? It's like 10% of this whole.
All right. I see. I see.
All right. So, do you want me to go and recode the rendering now?
I want you to make it. No, not now. But it should be green, and then it should go red.
It should go red gradually. Right.
Yeah.
The coverage rating tells me that is the grading of how much information he has about the prison.
Okay, so is that quite good?
That's
I would imagine 44%
It
is
does
quite
actually
good.
relate to the fact that he's going to be able to tell us about half the things that are happening in the prison that shouldn't be.
Wow, that sounds very useful.
Very useful indeed. So how do you actually do something with this guy? Let's wait for him to get back to his cell. Where is he actually going to? I think this guard is escorting him back to his cell.
He's been released.
No, he's not been released. I don't think so.
We've ended his sentence because
he's a holding cell.
He's going to tell us stuff.
Yeah, well, that would be another way of doing it, wouldn't it? Like having time off from your prison sentence.
Yeah, absolutely.
More of more of a carrot, you know.
Bit of the old plea bargaining sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how that works.
In order to make use of our confidential informant, and by the way, you can have more than one. You can have as many as you like. Right? You need to activate them. Right? So I'm going to click on this. Activate the asset in the holding cell. Right? When you click on it, immediately his suspicionometer...
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Deactivate him.
Takes a bullet in the back of the head.
We've implanted an explosive device in your brain. You do the wrong thing. Boom.
Boom.
Brains all over the wall. What's with the voices this week? Jesus.
I don't know.
All right, so...
Maybe I'm overcompensating for last week's piss-poor performance.
Yeah, what we've done then is, now that we've activated him, he has been escorted to a security room. Right? And I'm going to put a guard in there with him as well, because that sounds handy.
Yeah.
And so he has to be in a security room to give us information. Right? But while he's in a security room and information is being granted, his suspicion is naturally going to be increasing.
Because the other prisoners have noticed that he's hanging out with the guards.
Yeah, we escorted him away in handcuffs, right? So we covered it a little bit, but it's all a little bit suspicious.
Yeah.
Right, now let's take a look in our Informants window. You can see that he's active.
Yeah.
Right? And if we zoom out, right, we can now see all kinds of extra information around the prison. Right? Not immediately.
Yeah.
It's a little bit subtle, but it's there. Right?
Yeah.
Take a look over here. These guys are carrying some contraband.
I
I know that guy's got some booze. I know that guy's got a needle on him. Right?
Yeah.
Here's another guy. I know that guy's carrying a bottle of booze.
He's holding away a bottle of booze.
So this represents about 44% of all of the illicit activity within our prison that we wouldn't normally know about. Right? This guy's got a drill. In fact, he's got a drill, but it looks like he's already set off the metal detector and he's already been searched.
Right.
This guy here, you remember when I was showing you the throwing stuff over walls?
Yeah.
Well, we will reveal that information. That guy
yeah.
has arranged to have some booze thrown over the wall, and he arranged it 6 hours ago. And
Right.
That's where it's going to be. So you can take action as you see fit. Right? But the sting in the tail. Right? Every time you take action, the suspicionometer increases.
Right.
So, these guys in here, for example, I know you're carrying some booze, so I'm going to search you. Right? There you go. I've ordered you to be searched.
Yeah.
Suspicionometer increases.
Yes, I see.
This guy here, I know you've got some. Let's search him. Right?
What would happen then if there's me? I'm eating.
Where's he?
There, in the middle,
Where
in the
are you?
top.
Where are you? Where?
Up, stop.
up.
Next to the guy being searched.
Oh, there you are. Oh,
Hey!
there you are. There you are. You
That's
fat
good.
fuck. I never changed your sprite, did I? You still got that quite hard. Oh, look at that. Oh, you're rubbish. Jesus.
Look at this.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
suppressed.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I got a bit excited.
Yeah, we got a little bit carried away there.
What I was going to ask you is if, let's say,
Money laundering and perjury.
you
Jesus.
knew that he had a gun.
Money
right?
laundering?
Or
Is that what introversion's really for?
Shut up. And he went through a metal detector,
Yes.
and then the metal detector went off. Right?
It doesn't add to your suspicion.
So when does it? What
It
specifically
adds to your suspicion when you, the player, click on a prisoner and click on search prisoner.
Okay.
It doesn't actually
Okay.
matter if he's carrying anything, as it
Yeah.
happens. Any actions that you take which are manual searches,
So if you deactivated him and lost your visibility and then did a search, it wouldn't increase the suspicion.
correct. But you would have to
Right,
remember who had what where. Now, one
like
thing to keep in
pen and
mind is
pencils.
that searching an entire cell block increases the suspicion by the same amount as searching an individual prisoner. So if you have a bunch of guys in a cell block that are carrying stuff and you search the entire cell block, that only counts as one suspicious activity.
Right, but it's going to hack them all off a bit.
Yeah, it'll hack them off a bit, but it won't necessarily overtly affect that guy.
I'm with you. Subtle mechanics here, aren't they? Subtle mechanics that we're going to need to keep an eye on, I think.
Yeah. There aren't any in this prison, but if there are any escape tunnels,
Right.
you would have a 44% chance of the escape tunnel being revealed as well.
Right,
I'll tell
right,
you, I happen to know that guy is tunneling underneath the prison.
right.
Right? Pretty handy stuff. It tells you about stuff thrown over the walls. It tells you about all contraband and where it's currently known about.
Yeah.
And
Are they too powerful, do you think?
possibly, yeah. We'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
what people think. We can always
Yeah,
rack them back
yeah.
a little bit. It's not
Yeah.
really possible to get 100% coverage ever.
Yeah.
And if you have two guys with 44% coverage and you activate both of them, you don't get 88% coverage.
Right.
You get 44 plus half of 44.
Okay.
So you'll
Okay.
get 60-something coverage.
Okay,
So you
okay.
get diminishing returns the more
Yeah.
often. But when you've got a lot of guys activated, the suspicion for all of them increases
Yeah.
when
Okay.
things happen.
This is very cool.
It's very cool, isn't it?
This is very cool. This is a very cool and important part. We needed this.
Now, let's say, so you could let him go, right? You could click on the deactivate button, right? That
And that's it. He leaves now,
He
right?
leaves the security and goes back, and his suspicionometer will actually decrease gradually.
Is he a sleeper now?
Yes.
Can you just reactivate him?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So you can deactivate him, right? And he'll go off and he'll do his own thing, and
Yeah.
he'll no longer, his suspicionometer won't be going up anymore. In fact, it will be going down.
Yep, okay.
Over time.
Yep.
But we don't want to do that, right? We want to activate him again because, let's say, I need to wait for him to be activated. Right? There's always a little bit of risk with informants. The problem
Yeah.
with informants is I did show you that there is a suspicionometer, but that
Yeah.
might lull you into a false sense of security that he's only in danger when it fills.
Right.
That's not actually true. He's simply in more danger the higher
Right,
it
right.
goes. Right? So let's be extremely suspicious. And as you rightly pointed out, there seems to be a bug that every time I search someone, his suspicion will increase.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to search a load of guys. Right, like that. That should do it. There we go. So I've blown him now completely.
Yeah,
I've gone way
right.
over 100%. I'll deactivate him now and let him back in. Right. Now, interestingly, you kind of have to balance your usage of these informants, because it's kind of analogous to, you might well know, you ask if it's too powerful or not, you might well know about a load of contraband in your prison as a result of an informant.
Yeah.
You can't very well do that much about it. Right. So you're going to cherry pick the things that you really don't want in your prison.
Right.
Like
yeah.
drugs in the hands of an addict. Or
This is the old intelligence game, isn't it? When do you act?
Exactly.
Because acting burns your source.
acting burns your source. So he's actually going into this big old holding cell right now, and it's the game doesn't tell you, but I'm telling you now as a developer that he is blown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But there's a guard in here. Right. There's a guard in here, so he'll be all right. Right. And generally speaking.
Oh no.
Oh.
The guard's running off.
Generally speaking.
I know.
If there's a guard nearby, he'll probably be all right.
Okay.
You need certain situations to occur before he's actually in danger.
Right.
There needs to be, he needs to be just temporarily out of sight of any active guards, and there needs to be a bunch of people who would like to see him gone.
Right.
So I'm going to accelerate time. We don't actually know when it's going to happen, but let's accelerate to the next day.
I'm quite excited about this. This is horrible, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen.
Well, he's gonna get shanked, man.
Where is he? Where is he actually?
He's there. He's there.
He is. All right.
You can tell it's him because he's got a brown line drawn on his forehead.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily know when or if.
It's going to be in the shower, man. It's going to be in the shower. It's going to be in the shower.
Oh, it's happened. Oh my God.
They killed him.
Gone. Oh wow. Well, that's it. Well, that was quick.
I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was quite savage. So I don't know why it turned into a riot, but
why is there a red square? Oh, it's Polaroid.
Because it's turned into a riot, and we don't want that.
No, you've got a bug, haven't you? You've got a missing roid.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, don't know what that's
Look
about.
at that. Found 4 out of 137.
You see how it was a little bit weird, wasn't it? Right? They all jumped him, and they all twatted him to death really, really quickly, and then they all just turned away. Right?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. They went into riot mode. I don't actually know why. I'm going to have to see why. But he's long gone, right? He's gone. And so you never quite know, right? You never quite know when they've been blown. Even someone that's only at 3/4 suspicion might be blown.
Right.
And, you'll know once they actually, if they're attacked and they survive, their status changes to blown, right?
Right.
They no longer provide you with any useful information.
Right.
In fact, the only thing they are at that point is a liability, and you just have to transfer them into a vulnerable person's wing or something like that. Get them way out of the way because their time is limited.
Yeah.
That's
brilliant, mate. That's good. That's really good.
Pretty cool stuff, eh?
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool.
So let's go on to what I would say was the main feature this month. And it's a pretty big change. Now, you may know that within Steam, we already have pretty good community.
Not pretty good, amazing community, I think.
Community. We have Workshop, fully integrated, and you can share prisons, and you can share mods that do things like changing the graphics. They modify existing objects to change behavior. This one, for example, makes sofas usable, and makes a few changes to the game.
Yeah.
Right. We love our modding community.
Yes, we do.
We decided that we were going to commit this month to massively upgrading the modding capabilities of Prison Architect.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That's good. That is very, very, very good.
Now, all this stuff is still going to remain, of course, but any mod that's been made has only really been able to modify the existing objects that are in the game.
Right.
No mod has yet managed to add new stuff to the game.
Until now.
Right. The way it works is you go to Extras, Mods, and you activate the mod from the list.
Right.
Now, we, as part of making this, we made our own test mod. Gary made it, called the Vegetable Patch mod.
The amazing
vegetable garden mod. So this is a demonstration mod to show what can be done in the new modding system. Right. But it's also a new bit of content for the game. It is actually a viable mod as well.
Right.
So, new room type, right? Vegetable patch.
Right.
I can't place it because I need to unlock farming first. So if you go into bureaucracy, you can see he's added a new research program, farming.
Right.
I'm going to cheat, activate it. And now I can place a vegetable patch.
Brilliant.
Let's plonk it down here. Now the vegetable patch is a good example because it shows the kinds of chains of activities that you can put together using the new modding system.
Right.
Now I need to do a few things. I need to fence it off. I
Right.
need to have a nice little enclosed zone, as with all things in Prison Architect. Let's go like that. Now, a vegetable patch, I happen to know, nothing will grow in the vegetable patch unless compost has been placed first.
Okay.
So you can see there's a new material type, compost.
Right.
Outdoor only. Again, everything I put in here is new and added by the mod.
Gary did all of this. Gary did the artwork for the compost and
He did all of it, the artwork for the compost. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He did
okay.
the artwork for the compost. He did everything. So Gary made the mod, and Leander was our main guy for making the actual modding.
yeah.
The
But
modding
I mean
system.
that the person that wants to do the mod, that's what I mean, is able to create the artwork.
Yes.
I'm not, you know,
And
I'm
I'll
sure
show you how.
Gary's artwork is fantastic.
Gary's artwork is wonderful. I'll show you how. In fact, here we go. Here's Gary's artwork. Right. There we go.
Okay.
So
Look at
here's
that.
Gary's little custom spray bank.
Okay. Did Gary do that shed?
Yeah, Gary. No, the shed is a leftover
Ryan did.
graphic that we
Okay.
have never made use of in the game.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Gary did the rest of
and he
it.
did
That's
the,
brilliant.
Gary did the rest,
Well done,
yeah,
Gary.
and the trowel as well. So he made a little custom sprite bank, sprites.png, and included it in his mod, and he's
Okay.
able to make use of that from the data files that define his mod.
Brilliant.
So we've made a little vegetable patch with mud. It's
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
us that it needs to be have some vegetable seeds and a shed. built in.
Okay.
So and it needs to be enclosed. So I'm going to put a door down. And a shed, as you rightly pointed out, there's our shed.
Yeah.
And vegetable seeds.
Right.
So let's plant some vegetable seeds. Right. Now the way that this is supposed to work is it's kind of like it's a production chain of new materials that kind of grow over time.
Right.
It's somewhat similar to the way the trees work. You know how they grow and then they get cut down
Yep.
and
Yep.
they provide you some materials. And there you go. So let's accelerate time and let those things get built. Now, while we're at it, Gary has also added a new. You can assign prisoners to work in the vegetable patch, right? This
Okay.
is
This is
part of
part
it.
of the mod, right?
Everything that I'm showing you now is part of the mod.
Yep.
Right, here we go. So we've got our first vegetables. There they are. Now, I will point out
Wow.
at the moment that we have not fully finished the mod system, and hence workmen actually plant the vegetable seeds right now, and not gardeners, as you would
Okay.
expect. But we don't quite support that just yet.
Yep.
Workmen
Okay.
are still it's still very hard coded that workmen build everything.
Okay. So we need to adjust that.
So if you go to jobs, vegetable patch, I can open up 4 job openings in the vegetable patch for
Right.
prisoners, but none of them are qualified yet to work on the vegetable patch.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
you've got to be qualified to tend vegetables, man.
That's right. You can't just do it.
No, absolutely not. So, underneath the reform programs, exactly where you would expect it. Horticulture.
There we go. Brilliant.
Led by a gardener in a vegetable patch. Let's start that up.
And this is all part of Gary's mod. the
Everything
horticulture.
I'm showing you now is created by one mod.
I'm going
Gary's-
to keep asking because it's just brilliant,
It's
isn't
brilliant. It's brilliant. We have basically opened up adding new everything. New rooms, new materials, new ingredients, new jobs, new objects.
it? Amazing.
The whole thing.
We can stop now.
Well, we're done. Yeah, this is it.
Over to you.
We're going.
Over to
We're
you.
going to Hawaii after this album. We're not,
That's right.
we're not coming back.
Over to you.
I lost my train of thought. I happen to know that this zone is staff only and no prisoners can get to it, so I need to open it up. There we go.
Great little route.
I made a little route, and I've screwed the security of this prison now, but
Yeah.
you know,
well,
it's all for the sake of the vegetable patch, man.
yeah.
So, horticulture. There we go. So we've got 10 prisoners now assigned to the horticulture program.
Brilliant.
All right, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's going to be a wild party, that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if we just let things roll, Gary's put in a little bit of a convenience for us, which is that the first time you plant vegetables, they'll actually grow okay anyway.
Right.
Because the ground is nice and fertile. It's just being planted.
Yeah. Okay.
And these vegetable seeds, they are an object defined by data, but they also have a little script running on them.
Okay.
Right? A little Lua script.
Okay.
And the Lua script makes them grow over time. There's more. There's another object. If we find the kitchen and make some space, let me get rid of this cooker. We don't need that. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. Gary's put in another object called a preparation table.
Okay.
Right, there it is. Right. I've
Brilliant.
placed it. I'll wait for a workman to come and build that. You see some of his vegetables are fully grown now.
So while this is happening,
Yeah.
could somebody mod Gary's mod and do
Yeah.
better artwork? I mean, I'm not saying that
Yeah, you could.
you could do better
You could
artwork. I mean, how could you improve
You
upon it?
couldn't
But
possibly improve on Gary's artwork.
different artwork.
But
shall
say
we
you wanted to change the artwork, you could make
Yeah.
a new mod that had nothing but a sprites PNG in it.
Yeah.
And it was just this, but done better or differently.
Yeah.
And then you could say this mod is an improved graphics mod for Gary's mod.
For Gary's mod.
Not Gary's mod. That's something specific.
Gary's mod is pretty popular,
Gary
isn't it?
Chambers' mod.
This is Gary's mod.
This is Gary's mod in Prison Architect. What the hell is going on?
The internet's on fire.
We've put Gary's mod in Prison Architect. So, and then as long as you activated this mod, the wonderful vegetable mod, and then
Yeah.
activated that mod afterwards,
Yeah.
then that mod's graphics would override Gary's graphics.
Okay, lovely.
I should point out there is a limitation in the mod system at the moment, which is that you can if you add graphics to the game, we only currently support you activating one mod that has custom graphics at a time. So while you could override Gary's graphics, you couldn't have one mod that added all this vegetable shit and another mod that added libraries, say.
Why is that then?
Because there's a sprite bank, and when we find a mod with graphics, we composite these graphics into our sprite bank.
Right.
But we don't yet have the ability to support more than one mod's graphics being composited in.
Okay.
But
okay.
we will.
So that's on someone's list.
It's on Johnny's list, and it'll be done by next month.
Okay.
Right? It's just we just didn't quite get it working in time. But at the
Yeah.
moment, there aren't any mods. Okay.
No, it's good, mate. I'm not complaining.
It seemed
I'm not
like
complaining.
it didn't seem like that big a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're still waiting for these things to drop, aren't we? Gary must have increased the amount of time it actually takes.
I might need to mod Gary's speed mod.
Mod Gary's mod.
Mod Gary's mod to speed up the growing.
Yeah, because I need these things to pop now.
How was Introversion's latest Prison Architect video? It was fantastic. We literally
It popped.
watched plants grow.
Yeah, we literally watched plants grow. So what happened?
It's a
there-
cabbage!
It's a cabbage, right? A cabbage was spawned, right?
Okay.
Again, all done from scripts. There you go. A potato was spawned.
Brilliant.
Right?
Is that a potato?
Yeah, that's a potato.
That's so crap.
Yeah, well,
dear.
I
All right.
told Gary to make the graphics just the right side of crap so that everyone would know that this was a demonstration of the modding system and not
Yes,
a demonstration of the
no.
vegetable patch edition.
That's right. That's right.
So what the hell are these guys doing? Right, well, they're stacking up the vegetables that have been grown.
Okay.
Right, again, it's the workmen doing it, and it should really be the gardeners.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it should be the prisoners. Right,
But they're harvesting.
so we've got
Yeah.
stacks of potatoes, and we've got stacks of
Seeds, they were, I think. More seeds.
vegetable seeds, and we've got a stack of raw cabbage. Right?
Okay.
So you can see there's a job already listed: store raw cabbage in preparation table. Right?
Okay,
So
all right.
Again, the mod is driving all of this, right?
This is brilliant, isn't it?
So that raw cabbage is now getting moved. There's the production rule effectively,
Yep.
and the production rule states that if you find raw cabbage lying around on the floor, move it to a preparation table.
Okay. Okay.
There we go. So there's our preparation table. Now at
Yep.
some point, one of these chefs in here will actually make use of it. Let's put some more chefs in. There we go. So this chef is operating our preparation table.
Right.
Right.
Okay. That's how you operate the preparation table.
You
is it
stand
by
in front of it,
standing
and you
in a
chop-
box of cabbages?
You chop the vegetables, right? And you can see here's our first output, right?
Okay,
A box of cabbages that have been
Yeah.
chopped. The same box of cabbages that is used in our standard food system.
And
So
it
all
all
these-
dovetails in.
All dovetails together. Same with potatoes, right? All the cabbages and potatoes that you grow in the vegetable patch with your prison labour will be funneled into the food preparation system that already exists.
And is this mod also having an effect on the prisoners that are growing the vegetables? Is it making them calmer? And
Yeah, so if you get around to 11 a.m. or whatever it is that program is due to run, these prisoners will be doing their horticulture class, right? And if they pass the horticulture class, just like all reform programs, that will contribute to their emotional well-being,
yeah.
right? And they'll have a job to do. And being employed within the prison contributes positively to their state of mind as well.
So does Gary's mod determine how that contribution works?
No,
or
because
is it just
it's a general purpose thing.
it is? So it is. This is a program of work, and a program of work has this particular effect.
Yes, and it
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
it doesn't increase the quality of the food that you produce or anything like that. It does mean that you spend less money on ingredients every day.
Yes. Exactly.
But that's the extent of its involvement. Now, however, I say that, but the entire needs system is open for editing.
Right.
The entire needs system. The needs for the game, like your bladder need, your need for I can't even remember what they all are now.
Family
and all that stuff is all
Yeah.
defined in this data file. Here's
Right.
needs.txt, right? Here's the
Yeah.
bladder need defined entirely in data,
Right.
right? I've got a bladder need of priority 9, that's high priority.
Yeah.
This is how long it takes to happen.
This is for every prisoner.
Yeah, and well, there's a random chance that some of them are not every need is owned by everyone. Here we go. The exercise
okay.
need, for example, only exists on 50% of prisoners.
Yeah, I see.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
So you can add more, right? In your mod, you can say, I'm going to add a new need, and it's going to be spirituality. Right?
Okay,
I'm going
yeah.
to add spirituality, and then I'm going to add a church, and I'm going to put priests in. I'm going to have a reform program, which is spiritual guidance or something. I'm going to put pews in, right? And whenever a prisoner goes and sits on a pew, it will discharge his spirituality need.
So where do you define what happens if a need sort of fails?
Well,
This was years ago.
There's
we
a
were talking
few
about the need
failures,
system,
and
wasn't
there's
it?
a few failures, and at the moment they're all hard coded. All right, so there's specific failure actions: urinate, soil suit, things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
These two have got specific failures, but the rest of them, sleep, food, safety, all they do is make the prisoner really pissed off.
Okay.
They all do
Okay.
the same thing, right? So if you give a spirituality need to 1 in 3 of your prisoners,
Yeah.
and you make it so that going to a church solves it, and maybe
Yeah.
you want to be evil and you make it so that taking drugs solves it as well.
Yeah.
Something like that. So there's dual drivers, right? You can do all that in a mod, right?
Brilliant.
You can do all of it. And similarly, at the bottom of this file, you'll find need providers, right?
Yeah,
So for
yeah.
example, this need provider says that
That's
if
right.
you exercise in the yard, it discharges your exercise need.
Yeah. Yeah.
The toilets are completely defined in here by, here you go, wee and poo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the toilets provide a wee and poo facility which
Yeah.
discharges your bladder and your bowels. Nice, what a nice conversation. The point I'm making is that the whole game is driven heavily by data.
And what about the animations?
So all they do for poo and wee is they actually just sit on the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that just happens. If you say,
But I mean, if you wanted to create a new spirituality need.
yeah, so if you made a pew, for example, with 4 seats,
Yeah.
you have something called slots, right?
Yeah.
You have actual slots on the positions, effectively, where people can sit.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
put 4 slots in onto the pew, and your prisoners would sit in it. He does it in the mod. He does it in the preparation table, right? You see it says num slots 3, right?
Yeah.
So this is the preparation table. There are 3 slots.
Yeah.
There's the incoming stack on the left. There's the middle slot where the work is done, and there's the outgoing stack on the right.
Yeah.
And these markers are the 3 positions of the stacks of those slots.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
again, all taken care of in data.
Lovely. So anyone can download Gary's mod,
Yeah.
have a look at how it's working,
Yeah.
and then bastardize that to do whatever they wanted.
Well, it'd be very interesting to see, won't it? What can actually be done?
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
think we've made it possible to do a lot in the game. There are limits, you know. I remember you asking me, could you set up a basketball game and have prisoners make teams and play a game of basketball?
Yeah.
It's like, that's serious AI. I mean, I actually wouldn't. I'd have to think hard about how to do that in C++.
Right.
Never mind
right.
in the modding system.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are limits. You know. So
But it's just a start, isn't it? We're updating this thing every month,
absolutely, yeah. So I wanted to show you, these are the production rules that handle the moving of materials around. So
Right.
this rule, for example, says that if you find a raw potato, you should store it in a preparation table.
Right. Okay.
And this rule, a processor is an object that converts one stack of things into another.
Okay.
So this is the processor.
So
known
this
as
is
the
how
preparation
you
table.
define a preparation table.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it says input raw potato, output ingredients. Takes
Right.
15 seconds. A cook can do it, and a prisoner can do it. But the prisoners require the kitchen induction qualification.
Brilliant.
It's so data driven. I fucking love it. I mean,
It's great,
it
mate.
wasn't
It's great.
it wasn't this data driven even 1 alpha ago. We've actually made
Yeah.
a lot of it data driven to
Yeah.
support this kind of change. Same with reform programs, research, and this is the Lua script that is running on the vegetables that are growing.
Oh.
Yeah, so every object, so it's a vegetable seeds, right? You just make a script file called vegetableseeds.lua,
Right.
and the create function will automatically be called at the start,
Yep.
and the update function will automatically be called every frame.
Yep.
And this is the code that Gary wrote that determines how the vegetable grows over
They
time.
take ages to grow.
Yeah, Exactly. They take ages
and
to
then
grow.
spawn a veg. Brilliant.
And what I didn't show you, but what wasn't yet working, is once you've got prisoners trained up to work in the vegetable patch, they actually tend the vegetables.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Gary's script actually makes it so that there are jobs to do in the vegetable patch that only prisoners can do. They tend the vegetables, and if they don't tend the vegetables, they don't grow properly.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Pretty cool stuff, eh?
Mate, this is really good. I know that you were having a little bit of a panic a couple of weeks ago, weren't you?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit, because I spent some time on a feature that didn't come together.
Yeah.
And it just happens sometimes. And this mod system, I tell you, this is a massive change internally to the game, right? Probably since the very first builds of the game, like a month into the project, we had static lists of all known objects in the game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't feasible to add new objects via data.
Yeah.
So we've had to really upend a lot of core code of the game. And we may well have broken everything. But we'll find out.
Well, that's all right.
We'll find out, won't we?
Alpha 24A.
Yeah.
Done it before.
Yeah, exactly, and fix it all. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's our guys doing their their horticulture class.
Warms the cockles of my heart.
Yeah.
Look at Buckwell there. I want drugs. I want drugs.
Yeah.
Nah, mate, you wait till you've grown some cabbages.
You learn
won't
about
want any.
tending cabbages.
You won't want any drugs after you've tended some cabbages. Unless he's in there. Maybe he's in there because he wants to grow some mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the contraband list, a vegetable patch is a source of escape tools.
Yeah.
The trowel, right? They can be stolen, so it's just another thing to worry about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Again, so it's
very, very.
I love
cool.
it. There's
very,
layers.
very
There's
cool.
layers and layers to the game now, and we've exposed a whole midsection of the game. So I think that's everything I wanted to show you. I mean, obviously, it goes without saying that you can, in the Steam version, you can just instantly publish your mod.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it will show up in the Steam Workshop.
I get ratings and everything, so that's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, I had an idea.
Okay.
Picture this, right? Prison Architect Tablet Edition.
Right. You mean Pocket Prison Architect?
Yes.
Right. Because tablets fit in your pocket.
Well, mobile prison, whatever.
What are you actually talking about?
Prison Architect running on your iPad or Android device.
Oh, fuck me, mate. Show me.
Well, you see, I don't know whether anyone's going to want it or not.
Oh, right. Yeah. I thought you were going to tell me that you'd done it this month.
No, I haven't done it. But I thought we could have a look, right? And I've actually gone behind your back.
Right.
And tasked Johnny to put a survey in the message of the day.
Right.
So Johnny is going to put a survey.
He hasn't done it yet, has he?
No, he hasn't done it yet. He's going to put a survey in the message of the day.
Yeah. Johnny's our programmer, isn't he?
Everyone knows, programmer Johnny. Going to put a message of the day because we need to find out whether people want it or not.
Right.
And whether they've got iPads or Android devices.
See.
And what sort of Android device they've got, because there's quite a lot of different Android devices.
Yeah, well, to be honest, there's quite a lot of iPads these days, isn't there?
Well, yes, there is.
Different
there is as well. So we're going to need to know what spec we're targeting and things.
Right.
So, but hopefully we'll get a good response from the community.
Yeah, well, so you're saying if enough people say yes and I have an iPad, then we might consider doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if no one bothers,
fuck
then
if you don't want it, we're not going to make it, are we?
If you don't want it, we're not going to do it, are we?
Exactly. We're just going to make vegetable patch mods.
That's right.
Look at these guys. They've puked all over the vegetable patch.
Why have they done that?
Yeah, because they're all hooked on drugs, man. They're all suffering from withdrawal symptoms.
Well, I guess it's clean.
Yeah. Maybe it might help.
Might fertilise
the ground. Do you reckon that I should get Gary to make it so they can plant their own marijuana in the vegetable patch?
No, let some other modder do that.
I think that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Grow their own skunk.
Grow their own weed.
Yeah, exactly. All right, yeah, well, I like it, mate. That's interesting. Well, I guess we'll see what kind of response we get, won't we?
Yeah. So, I guess in a couple of days after the Alphas launch, we'll pop that into the message of the day and tell us what you've got, and we will think about whether or not we want to do PA on the move.
Great.
Sounds cool to me. Right, that's all from Introversion this month. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've not already bought Prison Architect, you can do so by heading over to prison-architect.com, or you can buy it from Steam. Get involved. We update it every month with a comedy video where Chris and I are outstanding entertainers. Oh, cut that bit out. I hate doing the end bit.
Yeah. We're not actually done, mate. All right. I know you think
Okay.
I know you think you're getting away with it, but you're not. Right. Last month, you mocked me for my electronic circuits,
Oh, fucking hell.
didn't you?
Yeah.
You mocked me. I said,
Yes. Yeah.
I can't wait to see what interesting things the community make, and you went, no one's interested in this shit yet, man, except for you. No one gives a fuck. Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, that's what you said, mate. All right, let's see.
What is this? What is this madness?
Yeah, we should mention that we're not talking about prison architects anymore, shouldn't we?
No, we're talking about.
What is this? This is what happens when you've got a lot of spare time on your hands.
This is awesome.
Should we have a look at the circuit diagram?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, let's have a look then.
Turn the wires on. I want to see
Well,
the wires.
obviously I changed the rendering these days, so you can't see all the wires. But
We'll turn it on all wire mode.
all wires. There we go. What the fuck? What is this? What is
Who
this?
did this?
I will put the mod author's name up on screen. He's made a couple of really interesting circuits.
Have we got any Polaroids left?
Possibly, yeah.
You can have one.
You've given him a polo. You've given him a
Yeah.
face in the game, have you?
Totally.
All
He
right.
gets it. He gets it.
Well
I was
done,
thinking
mate.
Polaroids.
Well
I was
done,
gonna
mate.
give him Polaroids. You just want to give him a face in the game. We haven't got any
What do
Polaroids
you mean?
left. Have
No, we've got no Polaroids left. But
we've got no Polaroids. Have a
got-
face in the game,
There you
buddy.
go. Well done,
Have a
mate.
face in the game.
Just for building this. This is what is this, right? This is actually a reasonably general purpose computer system, believe it or not. It has a clock in the same way that I showed you how to make clocks in the last
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
It has a series of memory banks which govern the program. That's what this is. So all these switches are on and off buttons to allow you to set the program. All right?
This is mad.
And it has a lot of registers and a lot of memory.
Yeah,
and,
right,
And
right.
up here is the output, right? So
Right,
each one
right.
of these represents a number, right? 1, 2, it's
Right.
written above. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16,
16,
32.
32.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's your binary output.
Yeah.
And it's loaded with the Fibonacci sequence program,
Brilliant.
right? So let's turn it on.
Yeah.
Here we go. And
Now, obviously, I can remember what the Fibonacci sequence is.
of course
but
you
for-
can. Of course
But
you
for
can.
those, for those of us in the or those of them in the world that have forgotten,
For those that don't know, it's a mathematical sequence whereby each number is defined as the sum of the previous two numbers.
1, 1, 3, 4. Whatever.
Let's leave the mathematics to John, shall we?
Leave the arithmetic.
Yeah. So this is now
Oh.
executing the program from memory and outputting the Fibonacci sequence in binary
Binary.
notation. And there you go. That is
Look at
pretty
this.
fucking nuts, don't you think? All right. Absolutely
That
crazy.
is
Quite a lot of work as well, I think.
that is just
Quantum.
fantastic.
Yeah.